Let's do it.
So Mike Blascow and TikTok is I Dig Dirt MC. So if anybody watching this isn't one of the 90 some odd thousand people that are following Mike on TikTok need to be. How long ago did you start that?
Oh, well, I'll tell you what, I downloaded TikTok for the first time. I thought it was so stupid. And if you're on TikTok looking for answers like real life, true stuff, you're on the wrong app.
Yeah, and everything on Google's true. I mean, that's a fact. That's Abe Lincoln said that, I think.
Yeah, I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
I'm sure, like, whenever, because Abe Lincoln I heard he was always on his cell phone. I started off kind of like just kind of making a couple videos with music, and then I did like a video about the quick cut. My first big video was like real big video, like a million views, was checking the quick coupler on my 336 and like locking it and like checking it, and I just talked through it. So then I got into this safety kick, and then Excavation Life was like, he like mentored me the most out of anybody. And Colby, we started this little like back and forth thing, but behind the scenes we were talking like on the phone, and then we would battle on the videos. And or like Heavy Haulin' Fool had one of my biggest videos ever, was I'm the best truck driver on TikTok by far. and if you haven't seen it, I'm in this old R model Mac that it's not on the road, and I walked through and just like explained like the air cleaner on the side of the Mac, that's my snorkel, and the exhaust was all rusted. It's my custom exhaust. The tires were missing. I said, I burnt them off. This thing's so fast. And like I walked through, and it made it on Facebook, millions of views, and Instagram. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. How long have you been operating?
Well, tomorrow, Saturday, I will be 43 years old. It's my birthday. So I've been operating pretty much, grew up on a farm, dude. So tractors. I had a little pickup truck at like 8 years old. I used to drive around the farm. We had a pig farm, cattle over at my uncle's farm. So tractors, old farmals. First track loader I ever ran was a 977. We had a old 933. I used to push the dump. We had a clean field dump. I don't know, first, second grade, 7, 8 years old. And my pap put 4x4s with like a hose clamp on the pedals. And I'd get home from school and I'd push the dump. But I've been doing it full time I've been in construction. I graduated in 98. Started out laboring. My dad was the operator, like the main operator. And I kind of top manned for a pipe layer. And he taught me so much. Laid pipe for like a couple months. Started driving truck and getting in the excavators and stuff at work whenever I could. I knew how to run them, but my dad said no. And, just watched every move my dad made. And I actually was foreman for a little while and running equipment a little bit. And then I finally got my chance to sit in the seat. And when I got that chance, I made sure that I did a hell of a job. And I've been sitting in that seat ever since. So I would say 20 years I've been full-time operator.
Mainly seems like it's almost only excavators now.
Yeah, I go through phases. I run all our GPS stuff. So we do have guys that run other excavators and dozers. We have 2 crews. And so I usually, like, when we have 2 jobs going on about the same progress, as they're at the same place. So I'm going to start bouncing. I'm running over next week to put some pipe in over at this other place. I went over to dig footers there. Then when it comes down to do the fine grading, I will get on, whether it be the 5, the 6, the 8, whatever we're doing. Usually it's the 5 or one of the 6s, and I'll do all the fine tuning, do the stone grade for the pavers, stuff like that. But you'll see, it's been a little while since I've spent more than a day or two in a dozer, but I will spend a month in a dozer sometimes.
That's cool. That's probably cool too, to not have to just be stuck on one, to kind of get the change of scenery. And I know if I spend too much time on one machine, I'm ready to get in a different one. I don't care what it is. Like, I like running a excavator more than a skid steer in general, but like these ponds we've been doing here lately, if I'm in an excavator for too long, I'm like, let me run anything else. Like, whoever's in the skid steer, I'll kick them out and hop in there for a minute, or just some sort of change of scenery. I can only do one thing for so long before I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't care what it is. If I'm sick of swinging around in this damn thing.
So what's really cool about what I do, and like I just told you, I swap machines. Today I was in a 308, and I like the 335 is my main machine. I got about 2,500 hours on that machine now. I put every one of them on, and it's a 335F. I love that thing, dude. Putting pipe in, digging. We dig a lot of footers. We do a lot of site work, start to finish. We have forestry equipment. We cut down trees, grind up trees, whatever we have to do from start to when that paving goes down. We don't pave, but I'm there putting stone down for the pavers. I back up the curb. You know what I'm saying? We start to finish.
Yeah, that's
so
awesome.
I'm not just sitting on a pile of dirt all day loading out trucks. Sometimes I do load trucks for a while if we're moving in good bits of dirt, 30, 50,000 yards. We did one a couple years ago. We have a crusher. We crush our own rock if we have to. And
dang,
good mixture.
Yeah. Even if you are on the same piece of equipment, you're not doing the same thing all day. You're getting to move around and do some different stuff. Unlike, like you said, loading a truck or even digging a pond, you get to do some. It's all different, but at the same time, it's still just moving dirt. But yeah, it's nice to be able to, like you said, knock down trees, and now you're digging a footing, and now you're moving this, and just kind of switch it up, not the same damn thing all day.
Oh, 100%. That's another big thing. Like we got a couple guys that are really good operators. And I'll tell you, I got a lot of my experience early on. We had the emergency sewer contract for the city. And like Main Break 410 is on TikTok. He works for the water authority. So you see his videos, he's always digging around stuff. Well, the sewers in Pittsburgh, some of them are 25, 30 foot deep. And to get down to them, you're in a roadway with sidewalk, telephone poles, houses. You have old trolley tracks. You have gas line, communications, electric. I mean, it's like this, and it's fun. It's so crazy. You gotta have patience, but it's a different breed of operator. It's not just hogging dirt,
Right.
And one of my favorite things to do is put pipe in, and I like putting pipe in when it's deep. Like I like 2 trench boxes deep. Pull the boxes, have to reach down in the trench boxes to you have 30-inch spreaders on there with a 24-inch bucket with the 336 or 349, and you're down in there as far down as that boom will reach. Sometimes I even have to bench myself down to get down. When you get down below 20 some feet, you gotta bench down, depending, because then you got to reach out on a 24-foot box. You know what I'm saying? So it gets exciting.
Yeah, definitely not boring.
No. And then
boring.
Did you happen to, I don't know how long like we've been following each other on TikTok, but my videos a while back, I don't know, it's been over a year, maybe last year, we did this demo job of this old car wash, and it was so awesome. I had our old 328D with Fecon attachment. I talk with my hands a lot, sorry. But I go like this because this is a bucket. So the Fecon attachment is this way.
Okay, right? Yeah.
So you're on the same page as I am. So I got my Fecon attachment. So there's 3 houses behind this car wash and then a car wash, and we got to demo it. So I'm like, all right. So I put the Fecon attachment on there, and I like made a TikTok video. I did most of it live. I went up and knocked on the door. I was like, anybody home? And no one answered, of course. And so I went and got in the excavator, and I literally just took the shingles off, took the chimney down. And I mean, I just demoed the whole damn thing with this. There was shit flying everywhere. Then the car wash, I had our old Cabelco. It's got like 12,000 hours. It's like the most clapped out. It does this, the whole boom. And I just put the boom out and I walked it right through the walls of the car wash. That's good stuff, though, man. I love making videos like that. Guys at work, like everybody, they call me TikTok. Like at camp, we'll get into that. But at my camp, they all call me TikTok. Like one dude that I knew up there when we first came to we have a permanent site in a campground, and the one dude and I were friends, and he would show all them my TikTok. So when I finally got my permanent spot there and moved in, I said, "Oh, TikTok!" They all call me TikTok, and it's cool. It's cool. I mean, 92,000 followers. Like, that's crazy to believe. 2.5 million likes on my
Yeah.
page.
Yeah.
And like, I let it get to my head sometimes, like, because that is cool that I have a platform like that. But there's so many people that are much more up in the bracket than I am. Now, you see kids like that. I've had people recognize me, and I see kids like they'll be like, "Oh, I follow him on TikTok. Yeah, he's like famous." And I'm like, "No, I'm not famous."
No, it is
TikTok.
cool though. Austin Starnes, Diggett Starnes is his deal.
Yeah.
And he was up to like 300,000 or 400,000 followers. And then something happened with his TikTok. I don't know. He got locked out or something or another, and started a new one. So he basically started from scratch, and he's back up to, I think, like 90,000 last time I checked. And I'm like,
Yeah, I haven't even seen. That's another one I haven't seen in a while. But Austin, I mean, we go way back. Like, started like, like I said, Excavation Life had like, he was like the big deal when I first got on TikTok. He had like, I don't know, 80 or 90,000 followers.
yeah.
And now he has like, 300, whatever. And he puts out some good content. And he gets he's definitely I don't want to say underrated. Like, he should have way more followers. He has really good content, especially when he got into the drone stuff. Now, some people think I own the company I work for. I don't. We call my boss Dad. We're a small family-owned business. My boss name's Dave. We call him Dad. It's him, his wife, and his son Mikey, who is 27 years old. He's just became a foreman. He's learning a lot in the field. He got an engineering degree, but like, we're really like tight knit. We have maybe like 10 full-time employees that we all stick together, and we'll get guys out of the hall or hire guys in. And just took on a guy that I met on TikTok that worked for an old company that I actually started with. My dad works there. Cousin Vinny, 412. He actually, we were talking, and he wanted to switch things up, so he come over to our company, and he's been working. He seems pretty happy. He wanted to learn more the GPS stuff, and
Right. Yeah, it's cool to hear that about the company too, like being a small, because from our perspective, watching your stuff, we can't tell, if it's a giant 1,000 employees or if it's, you and somebody else. So that's cool to hear that it's a small.
One of my biggest fans who wears my merchandise is my boss. And a lot of people, I love getting people to be fired up, like, get to work. Like, old videos, I've had comments like, "I bet your boss, if you're out here, ask him."
Yeah.
On my live here, he's watching my live. He's in my live.
Yeah. Yeah. He's my number one fan.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons. So, Instagram, I used to post on my story on Instagram. And like I said, for crazy reasons, I keep my Instagram private. It's like family stuff. And, I'll accept pretty much anybody if I recognize their name, or I'll take a look. But, I would post, and he loved that. He's like, I get to see what you're into, what you're doing,
Yeah.
So he could watch my progress throughout the job without actually being there. And then when the TikTok thing come, and like, he just thought it was kind of cool. And MC is actually, I don't talk about my company. I don't talk union, non-union. I don't talk pay. Obviously, there's no need for that. But MC is the initials of our company. So like, he's Digger Dave MC on like Instagram and TikTok. And there's Tommy Gun MC, who's my truck driver. Wrencher MC is my mechanic, one of my old mechanics. He's not really on social media, but he actually is the one that started the MC at the end of our names. Do any hunting and fishing?
Man, I used to. I haven't done it. Brennan Beggs, that's the other one I was talking about.
What is it?
Beggs Excavation, I think, is his name on there. Let me look.
Yeah, because I'll write it down and check it out.
His name is just Brennan Beggs on here, actually. But he owns Brennan owns Beggs Construction and Excavating. He's out of Oklahoma as well. And we talk a lot. And matter of fact, I just texted him a second ago. But yeah, he was asking. That's what I was getting at. He was asking if I was hunting this year. He's been hunting, and I'm like, man, I don't know. I used to, but these last 2 years or so, I don't know if I'm just so burnt out from just going, 100 mile an hour all year that. But I also usually slow down during the colder months, but thankfully, and sort of unfortunately, we've been, still stacked up this late in the year. So it's just, I don't know, if I get the itch again, I'll get back into it. But right now it's like, maybe next time.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, so not only do I dig dirt for a living, um, I also started my own business as a we have a charter boat in Lake Erie, Great Lakes. So I've been fishing and hunting my whole life. Hunting has been kind of on the downhill for a long time. I started building my house. I've been in here for 2 years. So I finally got everything done, and grass grew up this fall, and concrete's done in the patios. So I got to go hunting. Went bear hunting a few weeks ago, and I got that itch again. And sure enough, we went out the first day of buck, and I whacked a nice one, nice big 8 point.
Hell yeah.
But so now I'm like gung ho, but I filled that buck tag. We only get one buck tag, and it's filled and freezer's full. But so fishing, I fished all my life. My best friend's dad had a boat, and we fished on Lake Erie whenever we could, and I learned a lot of stuff. So a few years back, maybe 4 years ago, I bought a boat, a big boat for fishing, and started rigging it all up and fishing. I was like, man, and I forgot how much fun it was, and I actually do pretty well at it. So I started my own business. I went and got a U.S. Coast Guard licensed captain. I'm an actual captain, and I'm a fishing guide in Pennsylvania, and we started a legit business. And so I get paid to take people fishing. And I've actually taken some people from TikTok. I don't really advertise it much, but we have fun. We make. I just started a fishing TikTok, but so it's fun, man. It's fun.
Hell yeah.
But
I need to take you up on that sometime.
I'm itching to get back out there.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to slow down. I'm waiting to get that itch to want to go again, which I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, just been so focused on everything going on. But yeah, I need to, when that comes back up, I'm gonna holler at you. I'm gonna make you take me out there.
Dude, you come up here. I tell anybody that that I meet or know from TikTok or whatever. Like, dude, if you want to come up, man, you're more than welcome. Now, I had one guy from TikTok that I became friends with now, and again, it's a business, but I'm telling you, come up, I'll take you out. But like these guys called and said, hey, we want to book a trip. They booked 3 days. And unfortunately on Lake Erie, Lake Erie is known for big waves and weather changes. We got 1 day and they killed it. Then they booked another trip. Then they booked another trip. So they actually altogether they booked 3, 4, 5 or 6 trips this summer. They got like 3 or 4 of them in. So it's pretty cool, and they're already booked for next year. They got one trip. So, and we had so much fun,
Yeah.
But
yeah, I remember you were getting custom lures at one point, weren't you?
Yeah. So I'm not plugging anybody, but
okay.
The guy that owns this company, met him through. He's a friend of a friend, and we became good friends. And he actually, we have a lure, custom lure. It's the Dirt Digger that we custom painted last winter. And I need to get my butt up there because it's hanging on the rack right now. I seen it a while back when I was there, and he's like, yeah, well, wintertime we'll get it clear coated and get it all done and packaged up and put it on the shelves. And I'm gonna give some away. It's just you get so busy.
Yeah.
I've been fortunate enough to fish some tournaments this summer with these guys. We finished second in my first pro tournament, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I got a little deal with them guys as far as them taking care of me on lures, which is awesome. That's another great thing about the social media is like I just got a pair of brunt work boots They're amazing. I had Rock Rooster hooked me up for a little while, and I don't want to say we necessarily parted ways, but Brunt said, "Hey, check these out." Whatever, I'm game. There's a lot of companies out there that obviously want to market their products, and it's nice for guys like me. I'll put them to the test, no problem, man.
We've talked to a couple of different dealers, of heavy equipment and different attachments and stuff like that, and just for demoing, and trying to get something like that going where it's mutual. I'll try to get you some business for it, especially the brands that I haven't heard of. I'm in the business and in the industry and keep up with it, obviously. And if I'm like, this looks like a well-built attachment, for example, or tool or whatever, then I'm like, hey, let me help you get your name out there. If it's a good product. If it's not, nobody on here is going to hear about it. But if it's something I think people could use, it's direct to consumer. You're not hitting some broad range, some broad demographic of people. People that follow me, obviously care about that stuff. So, or like
Yep.
work boots, stuff that people like us would use. So if it's something that's high quality, then I think it's beneficial for that business as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's definitely a big thing. Do you follow Heavy Hauling Full? I'm sure you do.
I don't know. So my account, long story short, mine got messed up, and I was following like 200 people maybe, and it said I was following like 2,000. And I kept messaging them and kept, going through the help deal, trying to get it fixed. And in the process of that, I unfollowed everybody. You probably noticed I unfollowed everybody, like down to 0, and then restarted and followed back the people I could remember, like you and Starnes and Beggs and a handful of other people. And then my wife, I finally followed her
Yeah,
back.
you got to follow your wife.
She got mad. She was like, "You followed like 5 or 6 people before me." I'm gonna follow him right now so I don't forget.
Yeah, and then if I get a chance, I'll message him and tell him make sure he follows you back, because I want you to see them videos. He does some real educational stuff. So
I know I was following him before. I don't know if he was following me or not. I'm to a point now where like I'll follow people, but if they don't follow me, but as bad as it sounds, I try to keep that number as low as I can.
yeah, that was another. I learned that early on.
Yeah. Like I don't know if you follow Ken White Construction, Taylor White up there. They're in Canada. If Taylor White happens to see this, if that dude doesn't follow me back soon, I'm gonna start getting upset because I have unfollowed and refollowed him over and over, and he has to have seen it by now.
I'm deleting TikTok right now if I don't get any more views. That's what I do. I do it all day, deleting TikTok. And I love my wife. Your phones listen to you. I mean, you know how that works. I think I told you earlier on the phone is, October 24th this year, I celebrated 4 years clean and sober. I haven't put a drink or a drug in my body in over 4 years. So I went to a really bad place and in my life, and we'll keep that short and sweet. It was bad. Could have been divorced, could have, ended my career, could have ended my life. And thank God that people cared and got me in somewhere, and they took care of me. And now I just help out people that are still suffering, and tell them, look what I could do in 4 years. And like, I was where you're at, and I like to go speak at places and share my experience with them. So that's pretty cool. And in recovery, we say we're going to live life one day at a time. And I'm sure you heard, almost everyone's heard that, one day at a time.
Awesome, man. Just the whole story. I don't know. I'm sure you're helping so many people that you don't even realize just by, like you said, speaking and talking about that stuff. That's awesome. That can happen to anybody in a hurry. So
anybody. I was in a rehab center with a big name lawyer from Pittsburgh, a neurosurgeon from New York. You know what I'm saying? Yep. I dig dirt.
Yep.
There was a glazer in there. There was carpenters in there. There was young kids. There was Amish people.
Man, yeah, it's crazy, and I think it's an arrogant thing to think that it can't happen to you. I don't know. Like, I feel like it's such a slippery slope. for the people, people don't realize how slippery that slope is, I guess, going down that path. But look at you now, dude. You're killing it.
Yeah, you don't have to live like that anymore. That's what I tell them. You don't have to live like that, man.
Yeah.
You don't. But yeah, so like that's really changed my life, my relationship. Bridges that I burnt got rebuilt, you know.
Yeah.
Some didn't, some never will, but a lot of them, the important ones, did. I was able to really put a lot of focus on. I built a new home. I started a business. You know, I mean, there's a lot of things you could do, and to think for, I don't even want to get into details, but you know, 4 years ago, I was at the end of the road, dude. I was bad.
Yeah, man.
So
I respect the hell out
if
of it.
I can do it, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
I'm not even like a big deer fan. Like it seems like I am because I got 3 different deer machines outside, but it just happened to be the best deal I found at the time. But I ended up with all deer,
Dude,
no cat. So
we have some John Deeres. We have 2 Deere 50s, and they're
what are
beast
they?
mode. They're beast. The 450s,
450s. Okay, I got you.
big excavators.
Yeah.
I've ran Deere dozers. Dude, any equipment that's in good shape or newer equipment, they're all nice, dude. I mean, I say that all the time. I joke because we're like 99% cat, and I love cat, and the guys at Caterpillar are awesome, and that's who they own Site Tech here, who does all our GPS stuff. So them guys are all like they came out on a fishing charter with me, Jordan and his buddies, and that they're just good people, and it just all depends on what, like you said, the money. Like Brad Throttle Goat, he's an Ohio guy. He has John Deere stuff, and he looked at the cats. He thinks the John Deere outperforms in the 12 to 15 ton range, whatever he has, like a three. He had a 312. What did he? I forget. Well, he's got like a 150 or 160 John Deere, and he
Okay.
digs foundations and stuff. And dude, I ran new Komatsu's, new Kobelcos, all in that like that compact radius size, like 150, like that. Dude, they're all fast. And the 315 cat, the next gen, my buddy Mike has one. I dug some stuff for him last winter. That machine is fast and it's awesome. Like
Yeah.
I don't even know how to explain it.
Yeah, I totally agree. I talk about that all the time, which mine, of course, is right now anyway, more compact equipment, of course, skid steers and mini X's and stuff. But like I said, today we were at the farm show just looking at all the different brands and stuff. And they're all, I mean, to me, when I weigh the pros and cons of, that machine and this machine and, all the different stuff, when you weigh the pros and cons, they come out so similar to me. Like, yeah, this one's 10 grand cheaper, but it doesn't have this option. And, I like the door on this one, but you can't get to the fuel filter, stuff like that. Like they're all so competitive now, the big names anyway, the top 3 or 4 or 5 are so similar to me at this point that customer service, like you're saying, I got to have good customer service and,
Yep.
a place to go for it basically. But other than that, they're all so comparable.
Starting out, you don't want that all that payments coming in whenever you're just starting out.
Yeah, no doubt. And on any scale, like you said, for us, I'm not opposed. I know a lot of guys even starting out have bought brand new equipment. We're getting closer to that point where it makes more sense in some regards to do that. And we might soon. I was sitting in a 310 at the show today, and it was very tempting. I was like, man, like the stuff I could do with this. But so far, everything we've bought, like the skid steer's a 12, and the excavator I think is an 11 or 12. The dump truck's an 87. The bigger equipment we have is used at this point because I can buy 2 or 3, for the price of one new one.
And if you have the means to work on it, like if you're
Yeah,
smart enough to work on it yourself, you know what I'm saying, for certain things, hoses and this and that,
no
the
doubt. Yeah,
routine maintenance.
I went to diesel mechanic school right out of high school, and that was my first plan with life. Like I had a diesel shop for a few years, or a couple years anyway, and was just dead set on I'm gonna be a diesel mechanic. And I was kind of starting the contractor company at the same time, and ended up having so much of my own stuff that I was working on just nonstop that
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I'm getting my mechanic fix doing this, and definitely enjoyed the heavy equipment side more than the mechanics inside. So I kind of pivoted and went with it. But yeah, like you said, having the older equipment, you better know how to keep up with it, from like
Yeah.
simple maintenance. Well, and the other thing too with the older stuff, uh, at least with the old stuff and heavy equipment, man, they're tough as hell. Uh, I mean, in heavy equipment generally across the board, they're all obviously pretty tough. But I mean, you take like the old cat engines and stuff, you can't kill them. I mean, if you set out to break them, they just won't. Uh,
Yeah.
and a lot cheaper to not cheap, but way less expensive, than the new stuff is to repair and get parts
Yeah.
for stuff, in general. So
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, I mean, just like I broke a plug on the 335 for the G. I didn't break it. It's like a 5 or 7 prong plug that runs up to the through the boom and stuff for the sensors.
yeah,
Just it broke off. It was like $1,300 for like a 10-foot cable with 2 plugs on it. I was like, what?
you're
But I
right.
mean that's the price you pay,
Yeah,
Um, but yeah,
yeah,
everything's expensive now, man. Fuel and it's crazy. What a crazy world we live in that fuel prices doubled. Imagine being on a job like we went through 3 or 4 thousand gallons we had in our truck and we started this job and then them fuel prices jumped up. You know what I mean? You're
yeah. What do you do? Yeah, yeah,
it's just crazy. Luckily we were sitting on dad thought ahead a little bit before that, and we had a couple extra fuel trucks, and we had them. We had a nice little surplus, at least to cushion that blow.
I'm sure you were able to change your bids accordingly. After that,
Yeah.
yeah, I was caught
Yep.
not near the amount of money, thankfully, but some smaller jobs that I had bid, 2 months before that, and then when all that started happening, everything, from culvert prices to parts, obviously fuel, uh, I mean across the board rock. I had bid a bunch of stone jobs, and then our stone, we start getting letters in the mail that's like, hey, your stone's going up however many dollars per ton, and you start doing the math, and you're like,
Yeah.
we're we're gonna be lucky to break even on these next 2 months worth of jobs, that we are depending on, obviously. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, it was a
Yeah.
nightmare.
It's a shame. Yeah, we and I try to do whatever I can as far as the equipment goes, the like idle time and whatever I can run. There are a lot of times if I'm sitting doing a couple small lifts or setting pipe, I'll throw it on the eco mode and just in the newer cats, and it seems like it helps out a little bit, and I could notice the fuel levels, my fuel lasting longer.
Yeah,
The boat in my fishing business, I went from late summer $40 fuel trips to like $80, $100, and then $100 to where it was 50, it's $100 in fuel in the pickup truck to run up my up there, but to drive to my camp it's 2 hours. So Thursday night I leave and head up there. By the time I get back home, there's $100 in the truck, and then whatever amount of trips I do, I end up spending $400 or $500 in fuel a weekend.
it adds up so fast to such a, like when we go to the, we'll take like we'll try to keep fuel in the tanks, obviously, but when we get low and we stop and we're about to start a full day of work and we stop at the station to get everything fueled up, if it lands on a day where the dump truck needs fuel and the transfer tank needs fuel and the machines, I mean it's a mortgage payment just to go to work that day.
I really appreciate you having me on here. Maybe we could do it again another time.